ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्द्रव्यत्व निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। This chapter of the text called Vichara Sagara deals with the topic of Anubandha Chatushtayam. Some of you may not be familiar with this word. Anubandha Chatushtayam is the 4 introductory points. Adhikari, the qualified person. Vishaya, subject matter. Prayojana, the purpose of the text. And the connection, Sambandha. And there is very exhaustive discussion on that. This is the speciality of this text. What generally we talk about in few sentences in other texts, here pages together are used for discussing this topic of Anubandha Chatushtaya. In Anubandha Chatushtaya, we are discussing about Adhikari. Adhikari means the person who will benefit from the study of Shastra, the study of Vichara Sagara, which represents Vedanta. And under that, Antakarana Shuddhi, the purity of the mind, Antakarana Aishalyam, the composure or steadiness of the mind, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, 4-fold qualification, Vivekadi, Viveka Vairagya Samadhi Shatka Sampatti Mumukshutvam, were discussed. And these qualifications are for making the person fit for doing Shravanadi. These qualifications, Vivekadi Chatushtayam, will make the person qualified for Shravanadi Chatushtayam. Shravanadi Chatushtayam is what? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and Padartha Vichara. Tvam Padartha Vichara, Tat Padartha Vichara means analysis of the meaning of the word Tvam, you, Jiva, and analysis of the meaning of the word Tat, Ishvara. So these 4, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam and Tattvam Padartha Vichara, are called Vivekadi Chatushtayam, are called Shravanadi Chatushtayam, for which Vivekadi Chatushtayam, Chatushtayam is a group of 4, is required. So Vivekadi Chatushtayam makes me qualified for Shravanadi Chatushtayam. And then the definition of Shravanam was given, Mananam was given, Nididhyasanam was given. And then what is the role, that also was talked about. And now one technical discussion is going on. The technical discussion is, what is the direct means or the final means for giving rise to direct knowledge of Brahman as Atma? What is the final means, or what is the immediate means for giving rise to the direct knowledge of Brahman as Atma. This is a highly technical discussion. And here, the Acharya Nishchaladasji, who represents Sarvajnatma Muni, these are the new names for you, perhaps. The Nischaladasa is the author of this text, Vichara Sagara. And he is representing Sarvajnatma Muni, who has written Sankshepa Sharirakam. So his view is presented. And his view is that Mahavakya Tattvamasi Prajnanam Brahma Aham Brahma Asmi, these Mahavakyas themselves gave aparoksha dhanam. Aparoksha means what? Immediate, direct knowledge. Mahavakya, Tattvamasi and others, they themselves, when heard from the teacher, then those sentences themselves give direct knowledge. So what he wants to say, that when a Shishya, a disciple hears the sentence, you are Brahma, Tattvamasi has this meaning. Tat means that, Brahman, Ishvara, you are. This sentence which is heard, Shrotrendriya Sambadham, he uses the expression, the sentence which is associated with the ears of the qualified disciple, then this sentence itself gives direct knowledge. बड़ी अच्छी बात है, बहुत डिस्काउंट दे दिया. So it gives direct knowledge. And then what is the use of Shravanadi? He says Shravana Mandana Nidhi Dhyasanam, where Shravanam has got the meaning, the mental activities for removing this Pramana Samshaya, removing the doubt regarding the Tatparyam of Shastra Pramana. That is called Shravana, and that Shravanam, which is followed by Manan and Nidhi Dhyasanam, they are simply removing the obstacles in this result of getting Jnana. Jnana Phala, a Paroksha Jnanam person has, but Jnanam Phalam will not come if obstacles are there. Like water is there in the tank, but in between obstacles are there, then you will not get water in your bathroom. Water tap, it will not come. So some block is there. Sometimes even air block is there. Then also water will not come. Water comes from the tank only. But in between block is there, the result will not happen. So what is the use of Shravanadi? Shravanadi are just removing the obstacles in getting the result of this Aparoksha Jnana. This is the view presented by Nishchaladasji, and as I said, representing this Sarvajnatma Muni. And regarding that, there are some objections. Two objections were raised. One objection is, Purvapakshi says, Purvapakshi means the objector says, mere sentences, words, always give Paroksha Jnanam only. Mere words can give Paroksha Jnanam only. When I talk about Narayana Ashram in Himalayas, beyond Pithoragarh, near China border, suppose I talk about it, then you get some Jnana. There is one Narayana Ashram, very cold place, but very beautiful place, good for this contemplation. And it takes this much time from Pithoragarh, then one Pangu will come, and from there you can go. Now road is there. When we went, we had to walk. When now I think vehicle also goes. So if I tell all this, Pithoragarh, Tavagarh, Pangu, and this Narayana Ashram, you got some idea that this knowledge is what? Paroksha Jnana. Or I tell you something that today a special, not just example, okay, don't take it really. A special sweet is going to be made, which is an item from Turkey. You know what is the item Turkey? What is it? Barkala? Well, something like that, no? Barkala or something like that. So that item, name I forgot. Very
Baklava.
Baklava. So I tell you about all this. As many of you may not be knowing baklava. First of all, somebody is a vegetarian, no? Because it's a turkey. So I give you this idea. What type of knowledge you will have? Direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Huh?
Indirect.
Indirect. Is it clear? So this Purva Pakshi means the one who is opponent, he is telling that words will give only indirect knowledge. So you cannot say that Mahavakya gives direct knowledge. I don't agree with you. In fact, most of you might be thinking that when we listen to Shastra, we get only indirect knowledge, isn't it? And only by deep meditation, we'll get direct knowledge. This is a common thinking. So that common thinking is the thinking of an opponent. Virod party wala hai. Anyway, so this is first thing. So what is the first point of the objector, the opponent? That words give only indirect knowledge. And Mahavakya is word, is a group of words. Therefore, it will give only indirect knowledge. ये तो सही बात है. This is objection. And second thing he says, second point he raises is, if Mahavakya means Tattvamasi, etc., if they themselves are giving aparoksha dhanam, काम हो गया. Aparoksha dhanam gives moksha. So Shravanadi will be useless. But Shruti prescribes Shravanam. Atma vare shrutavyaha, Atma vare mantavyaha, Atma vare dididhyasitavyaha. Yajnavalkya is telling his wife, dear wife, that Atma should be listened to about. Shrutavyaha, mantavyaha, mananam should be done, nididhyasanam should be done. So Shruti is prescribing. And if we go by your line of thinking, then Shravanadi is not required because aparokshak, this Vakya itself has given aparokshak dhanam. Just you listen to Vakya, got aparokshak dhanam. एक दिन में काम हो गया. एक दिन क्या, एक मिनट में काम हो गया. 1 minute job done. Tattvamasi, got aparokshak dhanam. चलता. Go. Point to wango. So that's what will happen. This is what Purva Pakshi is telling. If Mahavakya Shravanam itself gives the direct knowledge, and direct knowledge is said to be the means for moksha, person gets moksha, then what is the use of Shravanam and Nididhyasanam? So these 2 points he has raised. These are valid points. That words give only indirect knowledge, and if words can give direct knowledge, Shravanadi will be useless. These are the 2 points he has raised. For that, we have already started giving the answer. So I am just telling this what has gone by so far. So story so far, no, they say. Story so far is this. So pratham akshepasya samadhanam. What is that? We tell them that generally what you are saying is true, but not. It is not a rule. Words have got capacity of giving direct knowledge, indirect knowledge in different situations, depending upon the object, depending upon the nature of Shabda Pramanam used. Words have got capacity, potential of giving rise to direct knowledge or indirect knowledge. If the object is separated from me, the knower, in terms of time and space, objects, then the knowledge is indirect. With Shabda, with words, you will get what? Indirect knowledge. For example, this Narayana Ashrama is now what? Separated from you now, is away from you in terms of this space, the objects. Therefore, words will give the knowledge and that knowledge will be indirect. So when the object is indirect, object is away from you, object is paroksha, indirect, then the knowledge you will get is what? Indirect. Knowledge by words will be indirect. But if object is not indirect, in Shastra we use the word paroksha and aparoksha. Paroksha means indirect. Aparoksha means not indirect. And not indirect means what?
Direct.
It can be pratyaksha, direct. Suppose you did not know what is clip. And you were seeing the clip, but still you did not know what is clip. And I say, this is clip. So my words, this is clip, will give you direct knowledge or indirect knowledge?
Direct knowledge.
So don't make a rule. Sometimes we make rules and we are confused. We are tied up by our own rules. Water has got, when particular temperature increases, expansion will happen. But at 4 degree, below 4 degree, it doesn't happen that way. So don't make a rule that when temperature goes down, this expansion will be less, volume will be less. Not a rule all the time. Sometimes irregular expansion is there. And therefore, we are telling that if object is direct, but still somehow it was not known because of ignorance, then knowledge by the words will be direct knowledge. Thus, if object is aparoksha, then the knowledge by the words also can be aparoksha. And knowledge can be aparoksha in one more situation. That is knowledge about myself. And they give the example of Dashamaha. The 10th one. The person did not know that I am the 10th one. And now he is told, you are the 10th one. Then he gets the knowledge what? I am the 10th one. Is it direct knowledge or indirect knowledge?
Direct knowledge.
So words, you are the 10th one, also can give rise to direct knowledge. And therefore, Siddhanta is telling, don't make a rule. What? That words will give indirect knowledge only, that's not correct. I used to think, many of us used to think that telephone can work, phone can work only when wires are there. Isn't it? Earlier, what was our thinking? Phone can work when wires are there. When we got cell phone, so people will say, where is wire? Where is wire? You gave me phone, but wire you did not give me. That type of question might have come. Orientation was, if wire is there, then only phone can work. In fact, I myself had this experience. So first time somebody gave me this, he was having the phone. So he said, this is cell phone, Swamiji. I had not touched before. And he said, Swamiji, you start. I start and I say, very dial tone. So in my mind, phone is working only when dial tone is there. That was my thinking. The wrong thinking. Then he said, Swamiji, cell phone mein dial tone nahi hota hai. So I thought this phone is not working. Why? Dial tone is not there. So in our mind, we have got so many such, what is called set ideas, and many of them are wrong. We have to, as a sadhaka, as a what is called a rational person, we should scrutinize. Many times we think, today I saw this person, therefore something wrong will go, something wrong will happen. We have this idea. A cat will go, then something wrong will happen. And then also they say that sometimes, to have some relief, you say, no, Swami, right to left it goes, then only problem. About sneezing also it is told. If sneezing is there, no, then also it is not considered good. Is it there in South? But either twice it is there, no problem. So एक sneezing है उसको बोलो एक और भी डालो. So problems. Anyway, so what I want to say that these set ideas are there. This Purva Pakshi, so we are telling that don't have such rule. Words can give direct knowledge. So this is the first answer given to the first objection. And here we need to note a point here that he is using the word aparoksha for both the situation. The pratyaksha, that which is directly perceived, that also is called aparoksha because na paroksha aparoksha. And for atma bhuta, that which is not separate from oneself, for that also the word aparoksha is used. Generally, aparoksha word we use only related to oneself. But here he is using for both pratyaksha and what we call aparoksha. Alright. Then second thing also is going to be answered. Dvitiya akshepasya samadhanam. Before that, we had read this story. We'll read once again some points I want to highlight. दशपथिकाः देशान्तरगमनसमये मध्ये मार्गं काचित् नदीं गभीरां प्राप्य एकैकशः तीर्त्वा परं पारम् आसाद्य सर्वे वयम् उत्तीर्णाः न वा इति सन्दिहानाः. So Swamiji told the story. 10 people went on pilgrimage and then there was a river on the way and they crossed the river and they wanted to be sure that all 10 have come because they were told previous day that you are 10. That's what Swamiji added this point. This teacher has told that you are 10. Remember, you are 10. So that samskara is there, you are 10. So they wanted to be sure. So they started counting. And then everybody was counting, leaving out oneself. And therefore, they concluded what? We are only 9. One person died. And they did not inquire who died. That is Paramananda Shishya. So they did not inquire. And they said 10th died, 10th one. We are only 9. Dashamo mamara. Then tada kashana pantha. I think that time pantha I said the pathin shabda. Pantha is a pantha, akaranta pullinga pantha shabda only. Pathin first case will be pantha. Pantha, panthanu, panthana. So pantha pratipadika is this pantha akaranta pullinga pathi kushala pantha. Or panthanam nityam gacchati iti pantha. Pantha is that meaning, traveler. Panthanam nityam gacchati, one who goes regularly, regular traveler. That is called pantha. Okay. So pathin shabda is that pathi gacchan or pathi kushala is called pantha. So one traveler who was passing by, he heard the crying of these 10 children and then buddhvacha dukkha nidanam, having understood the cause for their misery. And what is the cause? Ignorance. Krupaya prathamataha dashama asti iti avochat. First he said there is a 10th one. 10th one exists. He directly did not say you are the 10th one. It was a little bit too much shocking. Like a lottery. If somebody says you got $1 billion or $1 million lottery, then person will have heart attack. So slowly we have to say. Sometimes we buy a lottery ticket. Most of the time we don't get. This person has already bought, and he is in the hospital. He heart problem. So doctor said if you tell him that he got $1 million lottery, he will have right now he will have heart problem and he will collapse. Therefore, slowly it has to be told. So similarly here, there is a joke, but right now I will not tell. So, so he slowly is told, Dashamaha asti. The 10th one is there. He doesn't say you are the 10th one. What? Dashamaha asti. Then someone, the leader must have asked, who is the 10th? Where is he? Who is he? Then the teacher said, you are the 10th one. Tada tesham paruksham evaddanam dasham vishayam abhut. First, that indirect knowledge was there. And that question was that, who is the 10th one? Then it was said, you are the 10th one. Then what? Tasya swavisheka dashamatveddanam aparoksham eva jayata. Then he got in the direct knowledge alone. Tathacha aparokshe satyapi dashamasya. Even though there was a directness of the 10th one, vastutaha 10th one is always direct, immediate. Karnecha chakshushi sati, and the eye to see the 10th one also was there. Still, dashamaha tvam asi iti paropadesham antara. Without the teaching by someone, the guide, that you are the 10th one, without that, Swavisheka Jnanam Paroksha Kalpameva Asit. Even though the guide told the 10th one exists and everyone is 10th one, but still that Jnanam was Paroksha Kalpa, like Paroksha. Why he used the word Paroksha Kalpa? Because really speaking, the knowledge of the 10th one, that there is 10th one, that 10th one is myself only. And myself is always aparoksha, direct. So, Vastu Gatya, in reality, Swarupatah, I am the 10th one, and therefore the knowledge of the 10th one should be what? Aparoksha, direct. But if direct knowledge is there, that then inquisitive will not be there further. Who is the 10th one? When the teacher told 10th one exists, that time also curiosity remains. Who is the 10th one? And therefore, the knowledge person had cannot be called aparoksha jnana. And in reality, the 10th one is myself. Therefore, strictly speaking, it cannot be called paroksha jnana. Therefore, he uses the word paroksha kalpameva asit. Result why it was paroksha. And therefore, it is like paroksha. Just as something is remote, even though I know it, I cannot enjoy the object because it is remote. Similarly, the 10th one was myself. But since I do not have aparoksha jnanam because of lack of teaching, therefore that jnanam was paroksha kalpameva. It was knowledge like paroksha in terms of its effectiveness. And then he comes to Dashtanta and therefore he concludes the Drishtanta by saying, Yatha eva atra tvameva asi dashamaha iti aptopadishta vakyam aparoksha jnane sakshat swayam karanam. You are the 10th one. This particular vakya taught by the guide is the karanam, the means. Swayam itself is the means, sakshat, directly. For what? Aparoksha jnane. For direct knowledge, this vakya that you are the 10th one is the means. Itself is the means. Means what? It doesn't require any analysis. I am the 10th one. So the sentence gives rise to direct knowledge. Evameva pratyak brahma aparoksha jnane api gurupadishta vakyam api sakshadeva karanam bhavati. Similarly, the sentence by Guru that you are Brahman itself is the means, direct means for aparoksha jnana. And by saying that sakshadeva karanam, what is suggested is that unlike the Vidyaranya Swami who says that sahakruta, Shravanadi Sahakruta, etc. is not that itself gives aparoksha jnana. Tasya cha. In the last class we had seen tasya cha vakyasya we had seen. So for that vakya, but to be more precise we can say tasya pratyak brahma paroksha jnanasya. For that direct knowledge of Brahman which is myself, samshayadi dosha pratibandhaka shunya shuddhanta karanam sahakari sadhanam. Sakshat sadhanam is mahavakya. For direct knowledge of myself being Brahma, direct means is mahavakya. And the mind, antakaranam, is sahakari sadhanam, is an assistant, is a contributory means. And antakaranam is required for any jnanam. So here also antakaranam, the mind is required for giving rise to aparoksha jnanam. But what type of mind? The mind which is pratibandhaka shunyam, which is free from any obstacle. What are the obstacles? Samshayadi dosha pratibandhaka. Obstacles in the form of the problems of doubt, etc. Adipadena viparyaya. So this mind is mind free from the obstacles in the form of doubts, etc. is the sahakari sadhanam, is an assistant means. For what? Tasya, for the aparoksha jnana. Of course, sahakari is supportive to the vakya. But since it is a context, therefore tasya can be said pratyak brahma paroksha jnanasya. Alright. By this, what is suggested is that Mahavakya itself gives direct knowledge. The role of Shravana Manana is not to create aparoksha dhanam. That itself creates aparoksha dhanam, Mahavakya itself. But after getting aparoksha dhanam, there will be pratibandhaka. And therefore there will be rejection of the knowledge. And because of that, we will not get the result of knowledge. And to take care of this problem, Shravanadi is used. So Shravanadi are not creating aparoksha dhanam. Like removing the air block from the pipe itself is not getting me water. If there is no water in tank, then however much you strike the pipe and all air is gone. Still, and block is gone. Still water will not come. Therefore, water comes from the tank. Similarly, this aparoksha dhanam, direct knowledge comes from the vakya alone. Only pratibandhaka, samshayadi pratibandhakas are there, which will not allow me to accept this aparoksha dhanam which is born, which will not allow me to enjoy the result of aparoksha dhanam. Those obstacles are removed by Shravanadi. That is the stand of this Nishaladasa Vichara Sagara Cl. And Vidyaranya Swamiji says what? This Shravanadi and this Mahavakya. Both of them are inevitable, necessary for getting aparoksha dhanam. If this Shravanadis are not there, then aparoksha dhanam will not be born by Mahavakya. So Mahavakya gives paroksha dhanam only. Shravanadi are joining this Mahavakya, then it will give aparoksha dhanam. That is the stand of Vidyaranya Swamiji. Whereas Vachaspati Mishrakara says, the Vakya cannot give aparoksha dhanam in any case. Sahakruta asahakruta. The aparoksha dhanam is by nididhyasanam only. So for the mind is very, very important. The mind which is having the nididhyasana, the nididhyasana samskara yukta manaha, that is the karana. Whereas the Vidyaranya Swamiji says that is required. Shravana manana nididhyasanam. But Mahavakya gives aparoksha dhanam. But when it is supported by that. Whereas Nishal Dasi says no. Vakya itself gives aparoksha dhanam. So three views are there. Aparoksha dhanam by nididhyasanam, says Vachaspati Mishra. Aparoksha dhanam by Shravanadi Sahakrita Mahavakya, says Vidyaranya Swami. And aparoksha dhanam by Mahavakya itself, says Nishaladasa and Sarvadhatma Muni. So first akshepa, first objection was answered. What was the first objection? Words cannot give direct knowledge. That was dismissed. Now second objection, that if words are giving direct knowledge, then Shravanadi will be useless. That idea is answered. Dvitiya akshepasya samadhanam. What is that? Yattu uktam. What was told by you, the objector, Purva Pakshi? What? Mahavakyena aparoksha dhanotpatyangikare. If there is acceptance, angikara means acceptance, of what? Utpatti, the rise. Of what? Aparoksha dhanam, direct knowledge. If there is acceptance of the rise of direct knowledge, by what? Mahavakyena, by this great sentence such as Tattvamasi, etc. It looks too much. That you just listen to Mahavakya and you get direct knowledge. If you accept like this, Purvapakshi had said that aparoksha dhanotpatti adhikarane asambhavanadi anupatte. So Purvapakshi has said that once I have got direct knowledge of anything, then asambhavana, doubt will not arise. Asambhavanadi anutpatte. Because of the non-rise of doubt, etc., in the adhikarana, the locus of the rise, utpatti, rise of aparoksha dhanam, direct knowledge. And aparoksha dhanotpatti adhikarana means manasi, in the mind. The mind in which there is direct knowledge of something, doubts and opposite conclusion, habitual error will not happen. If you see this is a clip you are seeing with your eyes. In your mind, direct knowledge of clip is born. With my words, this is clip. Now, in this mind where direct knowledge is there, doubts will not be there. This person heard, I am the 10th one, I am the 10th. Then the knowledge is born in the mind, and in that mind where direct knowledge is born, then we won't have doubt. Why doubt should be there? Doubt can be there when you have got indirect knowledge. If direct knowledge is there, then why should I have doubt? हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या बोलते हैं मीन्स इफ आई एम वेयरिंग दिस बैंगल सो लेट मी गो टू द मिरर एंड सी whether bangles are there or not. Do you have to go to the mirror? इसे हिंदी में ये बोलते हैं हाथ कंगन को आरसी के आरसी मीन्स मिरर हाथ कंगन मीन्स बैंगल इन द हैंड. If you are wearing, you can see how beautiful or not beautiful, whatever. So you see it. So you don't have to go to the mirror. Yeah, for seeing the face makeup, you have to go to the mirror. You can't see that. But for this, you don't have to go. So when you have got direct knowledge of bangle, you don't have to go somewhere to know whether bangle is there or not. What is the color of bangle? You yourself but see. So where direct knowledge is there, doubts will not be there. Who is saying Purva Pakshi? Remember, we have to remember that who is saying. This opponent is saying. Opponent is saying that this direct knowledge is there, doubts will not be there. Therefore what? Shravanadinam veyartyam syat. Therefore there will be futility of Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. Because you have told what? Shravanadi are meant for removing the doubts, etc. And that type of objection you had raised, that Shravanadi will be Vyartha. Because doubt will not happen and Shravanadi are meant for resolving doubts. That type of objection you had raised. Who is saying? Siddhanti. Now telling Siddhanti. Siddhanti is saying, Siddhanti means the main one. The one who is presenting the truth is called Siddhanti. So he is saying that that type of objection you have raised is Asat. Tad Asat. That is wrong. Why? He said, I will give you an example. Where a person has got direct knowledge, still doubts can be there. I will tell you the situation. He says, Kashchana Raja Swam Swamatyam Swamatyam Varchunamakam Chakshusha Pashyannapi Viparita Bhavanaya Yatha Na Viveda Tam. Okay. So he refers to one story. The story is there was a king. I will tell you the story because he is presenting it very briefly. He is going to elaborate. Iyam Katha Panchama Tarange Vivriyate. This story is going to be elaborated in the 5th chapter. Now we are in the 1st chapter. Okay. So what is this? What is the story? There was a king and he had a minister. His name was Bharchu. Okay, name Bharchu. उसको अर्थ क्या है वो समझना नहीं, बस Bharchu उनका नाम था बस. So his name was Bharchu. And he was very efficient, very loyal, good mannered. So king was very happy with him. And you know, when king is happy with one person, all others will be what? Jealous. Naturally. All other ministers, hum kai ke hai yahan. So all the time Raja will ask him only, Bharchu, isme kya karenge? What will we do? Bharchu, what will we do? So all the ministers used to feel like in a house also, if one person is always asked, eldest son or youngest son, 5 brothers are there. So all other 4 will feel what? My father doesn't consider me. मैं तो कुछ काम का ही नहीं. I am useless in his eyes. Jealousy happens. Sibling rival will happen. So here also they had. So other ministers used to have jealousy. So and in this matter, all other ministers were on one side. Means all of them had jealousy. Jealousy party. All of them were there, the same party. So all of them had a meeting and they decided, we have to get rid of this fellow. How shall we do it? They said, what we will do, we'll tell Raja that some robbery is happening very often in the boundary of our kingdom. So we will send Virtue. So they went, okay, yes, good plan. So all of them, one person started the topic. Oh, I heard that there was a robbery in the peripheral area of our kingdom, very far off from here, but it is happening very often. Second say, yeah, something should be done. Then third, he said, only efficient person can do this. You can see that how the plot is. People, ordinary people like us cannot handle this, So Virtue must have understood it. He's a smart fellow. Then one minister in fact openly said, he said we should send Virtue only. Because whenever risky things you are sending us, and for easy things you are sending Virtue, and he gets all credit. So he said this time Virtue should go there. Virtue also understood, all of them plotted against me. So he said, yes, I will go. And he was confident of his efficiency and heroism. He said, yes, I will go. And he went there. It took so many days to go there, and he went there and he really took care of that problem. And he had started back his journey. It will take so many days. Meanwhile, these ministers, they are telling the king that we heard a very bad news. What? Virtue died. While fighting with the robbers, he died. Very sad news. Maybe they must have cried also in front of the king, just to make the things real. The Raja also was very sad. Raja also did not, because only sad news generally believe fast. So that's human mind. If somebody met with accident, he must have. That if somebody else is there or not, we don't check generally. We believe. Because always we think something wrong will happen. That human mind is there. So Raja believed, said, yeah, he died. It's very sad. And then still it was taking time for him to come back. And then they spread the news. What? That Virtue died. Virtue has become ghost. Because if Raja goes to the forest, by chance he goes to that area and he sees Virtue. Therefore they said, Virtue has become ghost. And this person, Virtue, got the news, all this, that this is how the news is spread about me, that he got so much vairagya. He said, what is this? So he remained in that forest and become a sannyasi. And he said, I don't want to go. Why should I do? In fact, there is a big description. He has got vairagyam. He thinks, my God, I was busy with this only. I did not think about ultimate purushartha. I was engrossed in enjoying the objects and all this. Why? I should think about myself now, Atma Kalyanam. And then he remained there. And these people kept on spreading the news what? That Virtue died and he has become ghost. Every day they will tell, Virtue has become ghost. And they will give description also. He looks like a tapasvi. Really he had become tapasvi. He has become ascetic. People will see. And if you go near him, he will run after you. And therefore the best thing is, by chance you see him, from distance itself you run away. By chance he sees you, then he will chase you and you will be caught. Therefore, if you, from a distance also, if you see Virtue, ghost of Virtue, not Virtue, then you should run away. So all this, imagine, they make a pakka plan. So that by chance the king goes there and sees Virtue, what is set in mind? Virtue is a ghost, he died. And you should run away. And really it happened. One day, Raja went to that place in that forest and he really saw Virtue, real Virtue. Pratyaksha, Aparoksha, he was seeing directly with his eyes Virtue. But what was told to him? Virtue is a ghost, Virtue died, Virtue is dead. Only ghost is there. Therefore he started running away. This is the Rashtanta. Even though he saw Virtue directly, Aparoksha Jnanam, still he has got wrong conclusion that virtue is no more there, live virtue is not there, only ghost is there. Therefore what? He could not recognize virtue as a live person. He could not get benefit of seeing virtue. He ran away. By this, what is suggested? Even though you have aparoksha dhanam, direct knowledge, still, if you have got opposite conclusions, then opposite conclusions will not allow you to own up the right knowledge. See, many times you might have heard, have you experienced this? You have got some image about a person, and you have been hearing this person is like this person is very miserly. Then, if you hear that this person donated this money, you will not believe immediately. No, it's impossible. Even though you heard somebody told, I saw he gave, you will not believe. Even if you see him giving, you think it must be somebody else, or he must be giving somebody's money. He apna nahi dega. Even though he may be giving, you will not accept. Why? Image. Like there is an image that this Swami is very, very strict. About this Swami, there is an image that this Swami is very strict. So one person was telling, he's telling that, oh Swami, I was so much scared. Then afterwards his image was gone. But even though I am very lovingly said, anytime Swami will be angry. So we have got some inputs, no? Based on that, we conclude, and even though if we see something opposite, we will not be able to accept. And therefore, he says, even aparoksha dhanam is there, still pratibandhaka in the form of doubts and opposite conclusion can be there. That's what he said here. Kaschana Raja, some king, swamatyam, amatyam is minister, his own minister, Varchu namakam, having the name Varchu, chakshusha pashyannapi, even though seeing through the eyes, viparita bhavanaya, because of the opposite conclusions, yatha, just as tam na viveda, viveda is a little lakana, na viveda, he did not know him, means he could not recognize him as a real virtue, live real virtue he could not, he thought he is a ghost only. So tam na viveda. So it is possible that even you have got direct knowledge of a person or object, but you will not believe. Sometimes it happens, or you see all of a sudden somebody who is not expected that. Then you will say, what is it right? You will little bit press your eyes. He cannot be here. What? Am I in dream or what? So means even though you are seeing the person, you will not believe. I can't believe you are here. Imagine like Narendra Modi knocks at the door. We open Narendra Modi. We will say, really you are here? Even maybe that we won't accept. So even though you are seeing, but you have got opposite conclusions, you will not believe. In relationship it happens. Some conclusion is there about our relative. And therefore even though he or she is doing the right thing, since we have conclusion this person will do wrong thing only, will do something against me only. So even though he is doing right, you will not accept. You will not be able to see that really that person means well. You will not be able to see. Why? You have got opposite conclusions. So it becomes very difficult. Person has to be consistently good. For months together, he has to be consistently good. Then only other person may accept. Otherwise, once conclusion has come, this person is like this, we will have a lot of difficulty in changing. Even though we are seeing, still we say, no, inside something else must be there. It's a very difficult thing. So therefore he says, even though he is chakshusha pashyan na vivedatam, tatha, similarly, mahavakyena brahma paroksha dhanotpatto api यस्य अंतःकरणे असंभावनादि दोषाः प्रतिबद्धकाः वर्तन्ते तस्य सकलंकं ज्ञानं नैव फलाय कल्पते. He says similarly, महावाक्येन, by महावाक्य, great sentence like तत्त्वमसि, ब्रह्म अपरोक्ष ज्ञानोत्पत्तो अपि, even though there is rise of direct knowledge of Brahman. He said, you are Brahman. So what should be knowledge? I am Brahman. When he says you are Brahman, you will understand I am Brahman. You know Sanskrit, this much. Tattvamasi. So he said, yes, I am that. So even though aparoksha dhanotpattau api yasya antakarane, in whosoever mind asambhavanadi doshaha pratibandakaha vartante, in whosoever mind these pratibandakaha obstacles in the form of the defects such as asambhavana, doubts, habitual error, vartante are there, tasya, for that person, sakalankam dhanam, the knowledge with impurity. Kalanka means impurity, stain. Stain means impurity. Dosha, the knowledge with defects, knowledge with the problem of asambhavana, naiva falaya kalpate, knowledge along with, knowledge fraught with the obstacles, falaya na kalpate, is not capable of producing result. Naiva kalpate, definitely is not capable of creating result. Even though aparoksha dhanam is there, see, when this Raja saw that virtue, that time is a matter of joy. Oh, my minister whom I thought is dead, now is alive. What a nice thing. That would be the result. Result of happiness. Instead of that, what was the result? Fear. He ran away. Ghost is there, ran away. So what happened? Even though he had aparoksha dhanam vastutaha, still he had this wrong conclusions, and therefore what? He did not get the result. So somebody is really good, but I thought him not to be good, then I will not be benefited by his goodness. That's what happens. I think I must have told this example that earlier in Bangalore when I was there, I used to travel by auto rickshaw. And morning I used to travel, and in Bangalore and everywhere I think is there that they generally ask for extra money. Thoda extra de do. Whatever is meter is not enough. And principally, I used to think that time. Now I don't think, but that I used to think, no, we should not spoil them, because if we keep on giving, then poor people, those who cannot afford, they will be of difficulty. So one day, morning class, I went there, and I don't know Kannada at that time. I also don't know much, but at least a little I know. But that time I didn't know at all. And Kannada, he said that iga haki or something. You put it here. Because of my conclusion, I said he's asking for extra money. So what he was telling, you keep this money on the meter. Because I was the first one, so he had that feeling that Swamiji is coming and first one, and therefore it will be good and all. That was his feeling, very great feeling. But I had the Viparita Bhavana. So whatever he said, I understood what? He's asking for extra money. But that is what auto rickshaw people do. I said, I will not give extra. Then he told me in Hindi or something, he told me that I am not asking for extra. Swami, you just put it here. So I did not get the benefit initially. Afterwards I got. But initially I did not get benefit of his goodness. This is how reverentially he is telling me. Why? This because I have got Viparita Bhavana. So many times here example is slightly different. Here person is seeing. In my case I did not understand what he is saying. But here is person seeing but will not believe. Why? Because we think he is not there. He thought he is not there. So similarly, I get to this Dhyanam. Shastra says you are Brahman. So what Shastra is saying? I am Brahman. So when Shastra says you are Brahman, knowledge will be what? I am Brahman. Not that you are Brahman. Knowledge is I am Brahman. So that knowledge occurs. It is aparoksha only. I am Brahman, that is the knowledge. The Dhyana Prakara, the content of knowledge will be that only. But still, I have a strong conclusion. What? I am very limited. How can I be limitless? How can I be Brahman? How can I be one with Ishvara? To think like this also is not good. Impossible. So because of those wrong conclusions and because of their strength, even if Shastra says and have Shraddha, but still doubts are, the old conclusions are very strong. And therefore, Even though Dhanam is aparoksha, I understood that Shastra says, I am Brahman. I am Brahman knowledge alone is born, but is fraught with the doubts. That's what he said here. Tatha Mahavakyena Brahma aparuksha dhanotpatto api yasya antakarane asambhavanadi doshaha pratibandhakaha obstacles vartante tasya sakalankam dhanam sakalankam dhanam naiva phalaya kalpate. Kalankena sahitam sakalankam. The knowledge fraught with impurity is not capable of giving rise to knowledge. Ataha, therefore, pratibandhaki bhuta dosha nivrityartham, for the purpose of removal of the defects which are in the form of obstacles, samshaya, etc. Tena shravanadikam avashyam avartaniyam. Tena purushena, for that person, shravanadikam, shravana mananam, avashyam, necessarily, avartaniyam, should be practiced repeatedly. So not for aparoksha dhanam, but for removing the obstacles coming in my way to get the result of dhanam, shravanadi are to be done. And then he says, yasya tu punaha buddhau. However, in whose buddhi, mind, mahabhagya vashat, on account of great fortune, ragadveshadi karani bhuta sambhavanadi doshaha neva vidyante. These doubts, etc., the defects, such as doubts, etc., which are the cause for ragadveshadi, naiva vidyante, are not there at all. Tasya, for that person, shravanadi vaiyarthyam ishtameva. For them, the futility of shravanadi is ishtameva. Ishtameva means is desirable only, acceptable only. So this is the peculiarity of this Siddhanta. In the Vidyaranya Swami Mata and this Vachaspati Mishra, merely listening to Mahavakya will not give aparoksha dhan, for sure. However qualified the person is, he has to do it. Shravanadi, then only aparoksha dhanam will come. Whereas in this Siddhanta, if a person is highly qualified, which is a very, very, very rare case, but principally it is agreed here in this view that if a person is highly qualified, free from samshayadi, then for that person, shravanadi is not to be done. If that person does not do shravanadi, as they quote sometimes the case of Ramana Maharshi, etc., for them shravanadi is not required, is acceptable to us. People say Ramana Maharshi did not do shravanadi, so why should I do? Are you like Ramana Maharshi? If you are like Ramana Maharshi, you don't have to do. We are not forcing you from your room. So, you are coming on your own. So, if you don't require, yes, my namaskara to you. You don't require Shravanam, I require Shravanam. So, you are greater than me, my namaskara to you. But if you are not like this, Shravanadi is required. So, what is the answer given? Second objection, that if Mahavakya is giving aparoksha dhanam, then Shravanadi will be useless. That was the objection. To that answer is that yes, if a person is highly qualified, let it be useless. But if a person has got doubts, and very likely that person will have doubts and opposite conclusion, for that person, Shravanadi are not meant for aparoksha dhanam. Shravanadi are meant for removing the obstacles. Aparoksha dhanam comes by Mahavakya Shravanam itself, Mahavakya itself. The Shravanadi simply removes the obstacles. That is the answer. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti